So hopefully everyone is doing all right. We are. Oh wow, that was actually really quick there. My Discord bot of doom. It actually popped it up right as soon as I pressed that going live thing. So it's doing better. It'll still probably spam it every like hour or so, because for some reason YouTube streams do that with the bot that I'm using on Discord to announce it. So that's awesome. But anyway, I've done a little bit of leveling off screen. We're 43. Got ourselves Bariza, and we also made ourselves a piece armor. I made it in a breastplate because, one, it's cheap, the actual runes for it, so I don't mind making a second one later. And two, I thought I had more 3-socket armors. This was like the only one that I had that was reasonable, so I was like, okay. I will keep that one for in case we ever need it for an Enigma online, which is very, very unlikely that we are going to end up doing that. But anyway, we are ready to go through Act 3, possibly even Act 4. Act 3 is going to be a little bit of the longest part of the today, and then we will... Act 4 and Act 5 are usually a little bit shorter, but I've already summoned a Valkyrie here, just because we want one out. We do have a piece on, so we will end up getting another one relatively soon, hopefully, and that is higher level. So, and yes, with Bariza, we actually do fire relatively slow, but it's fast for a crossbow. So we're good. We need more attack speed from somewhere, but it's not going to hurt anything to have just this amount. If I put a shale in it, I think I do hit another frame rate breakpoint with it, but I'm not certain. And that's pretty much where we're at now. We're just going into Act 3 hoping for the best and hoping we get that Great Marsh skip, which would be a very, very lovely. So, yep, and we're just resummoning her as we walk along. And the reason we do still get a point in Valkyrie, even though we are relying on the summon for it, even though we're relying on the armor for it, is because by having 1 point here, it won't unsummon whenever it does the checks. So that is an important thing to remember, that if you don't have points in the Valkyrie, you're not going to actually be able to keep that thing alive. So hopefully we'll get one relatively quick. I will be probably using multi-shot and stuff like that in the very near future, but not right this second. And we'll check that class orb. It's probably garbage. It is. But we do actually have a Jade figurine finally. Sweet. And this will be... Oh, we still have hell difficulty. Yeah, I cannot wait until we don't have to, assemble all the pieces of our nonsense. Hey, it actually it summoned her fairly quickly. So now we have a level 15 Valkyrie, which is nice. So we wouldn't mind the waypoint if this is Spider Cavern. Awesome. If it's Arachnid Lair, awesome as well. It's Arachnid Lair, which means that we should have the waypoint nearby. There it is. So, yeah, I don't mind getting the waypoint for Spider Forest, even though it's literally right outside the door. It can still put you further along in the place than necessarily going out the door. So that's just due to how this place is formed. It's one big long tunnel. And yes, multi-shot with Bariza is very nice. You should definitely consider it if you have a Bariza and you're going to be using it as your primary weapon. It's not a bad option. Guided Arrow is also pretty good, and I am contemplating using the Act 4 skill points to get 1 point in that. It does reduce the cost getting more points in it, though, so we'll see. I might go ahead and get it just in general so we can have Guided Arrow with this, which is just an always hit kind of thing. So, another nice thing about Bariza is it freezes target, and we are actually getting decent summon rates on her. Earlier, whenever I was doing the leveling up, I just wasn't getting squat. I cleared entire areas and didn't summon a single Valkyrie. But now it seems to be working just fine. So we're good. So generally speaking, we're just going to have a chill day. We're going to relax. We're going to destroy everything probably because we have gear that we've transferred off of the other characters that we've just found along the way. That's kind of what you do whenever you're doing a account self-found kind of thing. Or if you're playing single player, you just inherit your things to other characters. Hey Andre, how's it going? Hopefully you're having a good day as well. I am doing pretty good. Have had mosquito problems lately for some reason, but other than that, fairly solid. So if you see me stop it randomly, that's just me scratching whenever I shouldn't be. So that's absolutely lovely. So there was a mosquito trapped in the house, and apparently it thought I looked tasty overnight, which kind of sucked. So let's go ahead and just keep getting all these guys down. You managed to find a Mara's amulet. Awesome! Congratulations, Tryon. Okay, so as far as getting rid of all these other ones, but Mara's is a fairly solid amulet. It's just consistently good. If you don't know what amulet to use, it's a good little slot in there. That and High Lords, and to an extent Atmas, are some of the ones that I use the most as far as unique amulets go, at least. I do end up using crafted and rare amulets to an extent as well, but that's just because I have tons of them on single player. We're about to have tons more. I'm still working on getting the 3,000 amulets done. I have not had a long stretch of time where I can just farm those lately. But we will be having, yes, an amulet one and a circlet one at the very least. I might be doing belts, gloves, and stuff like that soon. Mosquito problems in November. Yeah, it's currently 17C here. So in case you guys are curious what the temperature is. So just in case you're wondering. What's the best way to find Stones of Jordan? Probably the easiest one is either Nightmare Andariel, or I think Nightmare Council can drop it. I don't remember for sure, but I know that late Nightmare Super Uniques can, so you can do like Nightmare Pindle for it if you really want. But generally, I just farm Nightmare Andariel. She's consistent, she can drop other really good things, and she has a high jewelry drop rate compared to other act bosses. And by being in Nightmare, it keeps her from being able to drop the high-level rings. So you trim it down from being like 1 in 59 to 1 in 30-something chance. Yep, Saturday night stream. Yeah, I don't mind doing weekend streams. They're usually pretty relaxing. The audience is pretty chill. Generally speaking, if I wanted to go like for maximum viewership, I would focus in on Friday streams. Because that, generally speaking, whenever on the rare occasion I've done those, it's usually like 3 or 4 times the number of people watching, which is really weird to me because, well, not super weird. I guess Friday night, everyone's still coming off of work and stuff, so. Honestly, do 1,000 Nightmare Andy runs and tell you how many SOJs you get? Probably 0. You might get 1 out of 1,000 runs, but that is probably the best place to find it. Because you have to, A, roll unique on the ring. First off, you have to actually roll a ring from her. Then you have to roll unique ring, and then you have to roll SOJ out of those. So for good ISP, we shall see. Worst case scenario, I'll do what I did last time, restart everything, even the systems, because apparently restarting my modem and router things do not actually always work, which kind of sucks a little bit, but it's there. And I do like using this because look at how much we leech. It's so nice. And since we have knockback, things are not as big of a threat for the mercenary because we do actually knock them back randomly. These larger enemies, a little bit more of a pain in the ass, but still. And we do need to keep an eye on our bolts because I keep forgetting I am using bolts and they have 100 less per stack. I find the bolt limit to be a little bit irritating, but I'm so glad a lot of modern action RPGs got rid of the durability mechanic. Dear God, it's a little bit irritating. Let's see. Hey, Nonovis. How's it going? And I'm doing okay. We are poisoned to high hell right now, but we're fine. Hey, it's not the worst poison we've ever had. And I think, yeah, we have to go up and around. No! No! I forget what I'm thinking of whenever I do that. What mic am I using? Oh, I am using an AT2005. It's not... There's a lot of places it's not available. If you're looking for a good microphone for relatively cheap, I wholeheartedly recommend the AT2020 for microphones. Audio Technica. If you just search AT2020, you'll find it, though. It's a little bit more widely available. It's not as directional as this one, so you'd hear all like the outside noises a bit more if I was using that one, but it works. It's got more of a round sound to it than this one. This one's meant as a stage microphone. So there are things that it doesn't do exceptionally well. And Mercenary, please do not die. Oh, and we got Cesark this far up from it? Jeez, my dude. You are a little bit out of the way. You got Fury, Java, into Nightmare yesterday. Started your bow hybrid, and Magic Arrow's doing well. Magic Arrow is just a nice thing to have if you are using a bow. If you run out of arrows, it still works. Unlike Guided Arrow, Multi-Shot, any of those, even the Elemental Arrows, they take... And we are going to totally die from poison. No, you can't die from poison unless you get poisoned at 1 life. And hi, Plutobar. How's it going? I should probably greet everyone. Hi, Travis. Hi. I am not trying to pronounce your name. And hi, Travis, Nonovus, Bartimaeus is as close as I can get on that one. I almost wanted to call you Bartholomew, but that's sold, and that is sold. So we've got ourselves an eyeball. They're going to keep their eye on me.
Hello.
But hopefully everyone is having a good luck in the game lately and actually finding all the items they are seeking. And that would be a definitely good thing. Personally, I don't need items on here. I have everything I need to beat the game with every single character now. I just got to level 42, so you can use your Titans. Yes, Titans are exceptionally good javelins. We have not found one yet, surprisingly. But that might also be because I'm a derp and just clicked go west. But no, it might be because I haven't done much magic finding. And I hate that it spawns us over here whenever we use him to go west. So we gotta run all the way back. I was paying attention to chat and was just clicking on autopilot. Because I was thinking, oh, I need to get some more bolts going. And it was just like, yep. But yeah, it seems a strike between Bartholomew and Osmodeus. But anyway, got an Eth Titans. It's 195% ED and 7% life leech. Nice. Still looking for a Monarch. Yeah, Monarchs can be a bit of a pain if you aren't lucky enough to find one. Because generally speaking, what I do whenever I'm really like not finding that Monarch that I need is I will go into a heavily populated area like Flayer Jungle in Hell difficulty and just start nuking things with absolutely 0 magic find. What's the best magic find percent to have? Honestly, it depends. If you're looking for Runeward bases, 0. If you're looking for uniques, the higher you can get, the better. But, and this is a big but, if you're killing any slower, you should stop adding magic find. That's just general rule of thumb. But you have diminishing returns from 1% onward. It's always going to be a diminishing return on unique find and set find and rare find. But the extent of that diminishing return increases as you get higher. Usually, if I'm just making a build for just wandering around and testing, my goal is to get around 250%. Just as part of the build existing. And that generally works out pretty good. That's how I've gotten most of my items. So, that's about the best recommendation I can give for that. So, we've got this area done. We want to keep heading to the east, so that's why we didn't take the waypoint. It's not far enough in, and I don't want to mess with them. We do have a level 15 Valkyrie that can handle tanking pretty much anything we want. And we do actually have an exit over here, I think. We do. This is going to be Flayer Jungle. Please let this be Flayer Jungle. Wow, we just didn't hit anything. There you go. Good job. Now, we are getting... This is not going to be a skiller. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. What? Those guys are high enough? They would have to be level 51. So I'm guessing they are level 51. Usually I say aim for the Travancore onward, but hey, we got one. Got a summon skill. I was like, that can't be a skiller. But these might be level 51. I know it happens in the middle of Act 3. So, yay, we got that. Is 472 enough? It's more than enough. At 472, you still have... Oh, geez. I'm trying to remember what it is to get 200%. It's like, to double your chance at a unique, you need something around like 200 and something % magic find. To triple it, you need around 1,000. If memory is serving. And yeah, if your gear is godly, you can just get a ton of magic find easy. It's built into a lot of really good skills. So let's go ahead and get grabbing Guided Arrow at the least. Yep. Game is very heavy RNG. Magic find only matters so late in the formula that I think people don't really understand that the fact that you're not finding uniques isn't necessarily because of your magic find. It might just be the bases that are getting rolled. So for and where did our Valkyrie go? She just disappeared. But for example, this full helm, I doubt it's going to be, but yeah, it's not double durability. But a lot of because that would have been Eisenhart's if it was. But basically, if you roll a base item, it goes, okay, this is the base item. Can this be a different quality? Yes or no? And if it's yes, then it says, okay, what quality is this? Normal. Actually, it checks for unique first, then it checks for set. Then it goes unique first, set, then rare, then magic. And then if none of those say yes, then it's just a white item. Then it checks if it's socketed, ethereal, that kind of stuff. So what happens is you may be getting a ton of items that are dropping, but if you're getting, say, all ballistas or something like that, it could very well be that you got a set ballista, which doesn't exist, so you get a double durability ballista, but you can't see that double durability because it's a bow. It's just a whole list of things, but it has to drop one of those variable items for Magic Find to even matter in the first place. So, like this Flawless Skull, it doesn't care that I have Magic Find. It doesn't make that Flawless Skull more or less likely to drop. So that's pretty much just, I should do a new Magic Find video updated with new graphics and all that kind of fun stuff with our new little sidebar thing, which I don't currently have loaded into the streaming software, but we could possibly add that in and do live tutorials if we really wanted to. I personally don't like doing them. I prefer having my notes on the side there, because usually what I'll do is I will basically outline what I want in a video, and most of the time it's just going off of a bullet list of like, I want to mention X, Y, and Z about this item, status, whatever, and go with that. For more complicated topics, I might actually write out a paragraph instead of just a bullet point, but that's a whole lot of behind the scenes that I haven't really gotten into before. There's a lot of different things about it. And yes, I have started taking the very common YouTube advice of come up with the title of the video before you start recording it, because I'm like, oh, I want to do this video about what makes a good build. And I have gone through that about 6 times now, and I'm like, I'm not happy with the result of this. So that's why you haven't seen a guide on what makes a good build, despite the fact that I get really frustrated watching a lot of these communities, because I have been sort of sneaking into various communities under other names and seeing like what kind of treatment new players are getting. And hint, they're getting really shitty treatment. Just putting that out there. A lot of people are jerks. They think if it's not something Llama, Dobrunsky, or in my case, I've only seen one person do a Butt Alzarath on any of these communities, thankfully, because most of you are actually kind of cool people rather than complete jerks. So let's go ahead and turn around, shoot these guys. There you go. Okay, so they're all dead. We should probably check the antlers. It could be a 5 NATO. Well, sort of. It'd be +2 to the tree specifically. Yeah, we were close. It's a 2 NATO.
Impossible.
Am I really? Oh, I really am that full in there. Let's see. The title needs to be a banger, pretty much. What's the luckiest I've ever been in this game? Finding like 2 Zods within like a couple months of each other. But I also have a crafted items and stuff like that, but I've literally spent thousands of items crafting them, so you can totally be a jerk. I mean, I can be a complete asshole too. I have been on several occasions. It's just generally if someone's cool, I try to be cool to them. Yep. And Mongli, that's pretty much my opinion as well. This game is about it's not even necessarily about having fun. It's about having a satisfying experience. And that is something that I've worked on trying to figure out a good way of phrasing. I still haven't found a perfect way for phrasing it, but that's what most games should be about. It should be about having a satisfying experience, whether that is the adrenaline of playing Tarkov, or the experience of finding that rare drop in Diablo 2, or finally beating that long-ass RPG. It's all about getting that satisfying experiences. So, but you play the game long enough, you'll realize that, yeah, while everything is luck, everything will eventually happen at least once. Lightning will eventually strike twice. I actually have a grand total of 5 Zods over the entire time of playing. 6 if you count the crafted one now. Because I've been doing a lot of off-screen testing of various odd builds, which I've already done the audio recording. I haven't done the video editing of the one for next week. Let's see. I just like creating content. I try not to step on Brunski's and Llama's toes because, frankly, the amount of frickin'... I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it, but basically dogpiling that would potentially happen from it would be very annoying. I would still create content, but I try not to step on their toes. And personally, I think Llama's a perfectly nice person, and I don't have a problem with him. I do actually disagree with him on some points, though, but we get into that in various videos. So, hey, Ross, how's it going? Hope you're doing well tonight, and thank you for the super chat. And we will probably be doing more, not necessarily playthroughs on here after we get done with all 7. We'll probably be doing a mix of playthroughs and live build tests. I've yet to decide how exactly I want to do it, but I'm thinking I'll probably try to do something using the max roll builds and just set up so you can send those in and I can kind of mess around with them. Okay. And any idea when the follow-up summoner build video is coming out? Which summoner? Druid or Necromancer? Everyone have their own take on it. And honestly, watch whichever content creator you prefer. Both Llama and Dabrunski have great info, and it's kind of geared towards their own personal playstyles. I generally have a playstyle more in line with Dabrunski. I'm not quite human bot, but I do actually enjoy just going through the game as opposed to necessarily speedrunning it or trying to, like, enter PvP only mode and trade all the items like certain other creators do. It's just I focus in on this. And that's what you have to kind of account for. The same for reviews of video games. Find someone who has opinions similar to yours so you can actually see what someone similar to you likes. Necro? I will probably be doing a few Necro videos. I'm mostly going to be focusing on odd builds and even a couple stupid builds in the near future, as opposed to like mainstream, this is an overpowered build kind of stuff. Because I find it more enjoyable to create those. And for the most part, people seem to enjoy them too. Like, I didn't know that build could actually work. Well, yeah, Javazons can work now. I mean, not Javazons, Fendazons can work now. And I'll probably be moving into doing that for every single class, except for maybe Barbarian. Barbarian's just, eh. No, I'll do some Barbarian ones. Take it and applied to new beginner as well. Yeah, well, new players, you got to start somewhere, and especially whenever it comes to games where there's a lot of build options and ways that you can really screw up your character for hell. I mean, I'm working on trying to get started through some Grim Dawn stuff in the near future because it's coming to Xbox, and I figured, that's a good excuse to play some more of it. And yeah, there's very little, like, really new player-friendly stuff for that. I will be doing Last Epic as well. That's probably going to be the priority because I do need to expand content on the channel. Have I done a smiter? I've done a few different types of smiters. Generally speaking, they're not very good for going through the game, but they are a lot of fun for other functions. They're good for killing specific things. For just like general progression, we have done a smiter that way before. It was a little bit arduous, but it's still fine. That's going to be a poison area. And I don't think... Yeah. All of these need to just be chilled, and you need to be gone. You have a very long neck, my dude. That was longer than usual. Let's go ahead and swap in. There we go. Summon Paladin. Someone knows about the revive function. At least I'm assuming you know about the revive function from that. For those of you that don't know, whenever you use revive as a paladin, it basically does damage like sacrifice. So it does a % of your life damage. Back in the day, you made a melee necro dubbed it Death Knight, utilizing Iron Maiden and Blood Golem. I remember the days when Iron Maiden was actually meta. The Iron Maiden Blood Golem combo, because you basically became invincible as long as things were hitting your Blood Golem. And it doesn't work anymore. It was fun, but it doesn't work anymore. So that is sad. I would love to have, like, even if it's just temporarily that they allow it, I would love a 1.0 mode for this. Oh, I forget where the exit... Oh, there's the exit. Blurb. But I would love a 1.0 version for D2R, where they just basically reset all the rules to 1.0 rules. But we are never going to get that. I have a feeling we're only going to get so much from this. You guys get to go ahead and fight her. I'll find my way around there eventually, Valkyrie. Oh, you can't find your way to me. Yeah, then it got super nerfed. It was around for a while, though. Corpse Explosion is another thing that has gotten super nerfed over the years. It's still extremely strong, don't get me wrong, but it has been nerfed. It used to be super overpowered. Now it's just very strong and functional. So get rid of them. And I think we go through here and then go right. Yeah. Just running around. Back when uniques were actually useful and desirable. I also remember the time when magic items were the sought after. Cruel Colossus Blade of Quickness and all that fun jazz. There's been eras of Diablo 2, and I think people often forget that. Diablo 2 has not always been 1.14 Diablo 2. It has varied greatly. The rune drops used to be extremely broken in Lord of Destruction originally released. They were so rare for Zods and stuff like that. It was ridiculous. Let's go ahead and grab this. We got ourselves a brain. At least in game, not necessarily in real life. And we're going to get the hell out of here. I wouldn't say Corpse Explosion is necessarily overpowered anymore. It's good for clearing areas. It's fun. But it's not as overpowered as it was before because it doesn't scale, for example. Cruel Colossus Blade of Evisceration. I was always more of a Quickness fan, but yeah, that one's pretty fun as well, just for the big single hits. Good for Whirlwind. Whirlwind nerf was a big nerf. Good God, I hated that one. It basically took the wind out of the sails of any polearm or spear Whirlwind character. You had a question about Valkyries from the Peace Runeward armor. When you're proc, she disappears after a few minutes, sometimes just seconds. It's because you don't have a hard point in the skill or you don't have an item sustaining it. For example, if you had Harmony in Peace, you'd actually be able to keep the Valkyrie on any character because you have a sort of plus skill point in it. Greatest drop you'll probably ever have was Grandfather back in high school. Ah. Awesome. Sorry, I'm scratching bug bite. There we go. Sorry for the weird noise, but it's there. So let's go drop our brain in our box, get ourselves some more bolts. We are going to be burning through bolts quite quickly, unfortunately, just because of what they are, being only a 250 stack. Yes. And we will block you from that, my friend. Just for hey, he was able to get it. Man of Steel, not much resist. I mean, it's not terrible. It's got some stats on it, but it's also not really that good. I think I prefer our current mana one, which has better resists on it, over the little bit of attack rating and dexterity, although that would be life, but no. We're going to get rid of that. Someone's going to be mad about it. But yeah, I have thought about making a build based around that for the Valkyrie thing, but we'll see if I do. It would be... There's a specific class I have in mind for it, so I can make a very stupid joke. So let's see. Stat-wise, do we need any other stats for this? I think we are... we're not quite there with this. Because we actually do need more strength for this for the base, because once we take off those, we actually can't equip it. So we do need to do that if we plan on getting rid of the gloves at all. Although we could keep gloves and boots, I guess. But then we'd have to be getting rid of water. Oh, actually, no, we have the strength. Because if we get Storm Treks, we actually get the strength from that to actually keep equipping it. So that's fine. That's not the worst thing ever. Are there any items that lessen curses? No.